Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Tech Conversations. I'm your host, Guillermo. It is September 8th. Hope y'all are having a great day today. Today, I want to continue our Webull series where I continue to talk about different strategies you can implement on Webull. And so today, I want to talk about how to make money with sideways action on Webull using the Iron Condor, more specifically the short Iron Condor. And I never talk about this strategy that much. But it is one of the more popular trading strategies out there. Again, best suited for neutral environments. And again, before you ever enter any options trade, no matter what broker, no matter what strategy, make sure you know how to close it, because most of the time you're going to want to exit out of your options trade before it expires. So now, if you haven't signed up to Webull yet, there is a link in the description below that you can use to sign up and get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,000. It's great having multiple brokers because, for example, there's sometimes cases where one broker is having technical difficulties. If you have multiple, you can just switch over to a different one for the day. It also allows you to have more day trades if your account is under 25K. And also, Webull offers extended hours trading, which is very useful. So remember, with extended hours trading, you can trade pre-market 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time and after hours 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can kind of get in before the rest of the crowd the following day if the company announces something after hours or pre-market, for example. So anyways, check out the link in the description below to sign up to Webull. Now, something very important I do need to mention here, and this is that to trade Iron Condors and more advanced option trading strategies, you do need to have level 3 options, okay? And so let me show you that here. So if you take a look here on this chart, you can see that the Iron Condor here, short Iron Condor, which we're focusing on, and some of these other strategies like the butterfly spreads, credit debit spreads, you need to have level 3 options trading. And to have level 3 options trading, you need to have a margin account. Okay, and so I'm saying this here because I know a lot of people will ask in the comments, how come I'm not able to do this? It's probably because you don't have level 3 options trading, and to have level 3, you do need a margin account. Keep in mind, when I switched my account from a cash account to a margin account, it did take about 3 weeks, so it can be a very long process. So make sure that you're doing that and make sure you have level 3 in order to be able to set up the short Iron Condor here. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the desktop app. So I'm using the desktop app for this demo. So remember, you just go to Webull.com, you go to download, and this will allow you to download the Webull desktop app, which is what I'm about to use here. So let's go over to that now. And so here is the Webull desktop app. This is what it's going to look like here. And so right now we're currently on this watch list tab. So what we want to do is we want to switch over to the stocks tab. So stocks tab is right here. We'll click on it. And so currently we are looking at Amazon, as you can see here, right? So gives us the the share price of Amazon, the chart of Amazon. So the first thing we want to do here is we basically want to go to the stock that we want to trade options on. So for the short Iron Condor, I'm going to be using SPY because SPY is definitely a popular stock that a lot of people use with the short Iron Condor, especially because SPY has, 3 different expiration dates per week, right? And again, the Iron Condor is more of a sideways strategy, a strategy best suited for neutral environments. So let's go over to SPY here. So this would definitely be a better candidate for the short Iron Condor. So SPY currently at 449.72, and again we're seeing the chart here. Now what we want to do is we want to go up here. You can see there's many different tabs that you can click on. We want to go and click on options here. So this is going to take us to the options for SPY. And again, SPY has 3 expiration dates every single week, which is kind of unique to it. And so the next thing, of course, that we want to do is we want to choose our expiration date for the short Iron Condor that we're going to set up here. So remember, the way this works here is that you can collapse this main header here. So if we collapse this, what this allows us to see are the rest of the expiration dates. And so remember, each expiration date is kind of like its own expandable, collapsible section here. So let's say that we want to choose, we're not going to choose September 8th because that's today, but let's say you want to choose September 10th, which is this Friday, right? So we want to set up a short Iron Condor here expiring this Friday for SPY, that's September 10th. So we would go ahead and click on this. This will expand and we'll be able to see all the options that expire on that day for SPY. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to go over, oh, actually one quick thing here. Remember, you can sort these out either by ascending or descending, right? So right now the higher strikes are at the top, and then as it goes down, the strike prices go down. You can click on this so that the lowest strike is actually on top, and as you go down, the strike prices increase. But I like to leave it like this. But anyways, let's go back here now. Now what we want to do is we want to click here where it says single right now, and we want to go over to Iron Condor here. So we're going to click on Iron Condor, and this is going to go to this right here. Now, this is showing us some Iron Condor possibilities for SPY. Now, the first thing you may notice here is that there's a lot of them, right? And this can get, very overwhelming. There's a lot right here going on. And so what we can do is we can go back up here where it says all, and we can kind of just, limit how many we're seeing here. So I'm going to go to 10. And so now, as you can see, now we're only seeing 10 different possibilities here, 10 different setups here. And honestly, this is better because, again, with a short Iron Condor, you generally want the stock to be trading sideways. So it really doesn't make sense, to be looking at, strike prices that are way below or way above the current share price. So usually it'll look something like, I'll usually set up something like this here. Now, the next thing we want to do here, now that we have it, let's just briefly discuss how does the short Iron Condor work. So remember, with a short Iron Condor, what you want to do is you want to determine what price range the stock you chose will be between on the expiration date. So what I want to do to start this is I want to determine between what price range SPY will be on the expiration date, which again we chose as September 10th. So on September 10th, what price range do I think SPY will be between? And once I determine that, what you want to do is you want to sell a put at the low price of that range and sell a call at the high price of that range. And then you're going to go back, you're going to buy a put under the put you sold and buy a call above the call you sold. And ultimately, you should end up receiving a credit for this. And ultimately, you want to profit from neutral stock price action here between the strike price of the short options. So for example, if we take a look at, let's say this one right here, what this is looking like is we're buying a put at 449, we're selling a put at 450, we're selling a call at 451, and we're going to buy a call at 452. And ultimately, an expiration date, we would want SPY to be between 450 and 451, which again are the strikes of the put that we're selling and the call that we're selling. So let's just pretend that on September 10th, I think SPY will be between 449 and 451. Then again, I want to sell a put at the low price of that range, so at the 449 strike, and I want to sell a call at the high end of that range, which is 451. Now, as you can see, none of these show 449, 451. So what I want to do here is I want to go up here to the width, and I want to change this to be 2, right? So that the width between the strikes is 2. Now, after I do that, you see that we do see it now. We do see a 449 and a 451. So this would ultimately be us selling a put at 449, selling a call at 451, and then ultimately we're going to buy a put under the put that we sold, and we're going to buy a call above the call that we're selling. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this here, since this is, basically what I want here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Now you need to be very careful here, because sometimes this may end up looking like this when you click on it. You don't want to buy this Iron Condor, right? You want to sell this Iron Condor. We want to be selling it. And you should know that because by buying it, this is going to be a debit. And like I mentioned earlier, we want to be receiving a credit here. So this should always say sell here. And actually, if you take a look at each individual contract, it looks like what we talked about, right? We're selling our put at 449. We're selling our call at 451, buying our call above the call that we're selling, and then buying a put below the put that we're selling. The other thing that you need to be very careful with to not get in trouble here is quantity. Quantity looks like it defaults to 10 most of the time. So make sure that you're choosing only one or two or however many you want. So I'm just going to do one. And then, of course, the other things to look here is you can change your expiration date on here if you want. You can also change the strikes on here if you want. You can even change the strategy here. But ultimately, since we already kind of determined that, we really don't want to touch that. And then the other thing, of course, is this order here. So you can have a limit order, you can have a market order. Again, when you're trading options, I highly encourage limit. Limit gives you more control over how much you're willing to pay or the least you're willing to receive to enter this trade. So I always encourage you to use limit. And then, of course, you can change your limit price here as well. And so remember, you can always click on this arrow here to kind of take a look at what's going on here. So as you can see, we're going to receive a premium, a credit for this, which we should be with the short Iron Condor, $124. This tells me I only have 2 day trades left. My max loss is $76. My max profit is the credit I received, which is $124. So ultimately in this trade, I'd be risking $76 to make $124. And again, remember, you can also go to the graph here to visually see what this looks like on the expiration date. So for example, on the expiration date, if SPY, like we mentioned, is between that 449 and 451, we make our max profit, which is $124. However, let's say it's only like 448.32. Well, we still make money, only $55 though. However, if it's, let's say, 447.15, we lose $62. And same thing over here. Right, so this is kind of neat here. I'm still going to use the option strat because option strat shows you even, just prior to the expiration date as well, what it looks like. This is only showing you what it looks like on the expiration date. And then again, you can also change your things here as well, like again, the width or, order type, limit price, contracts, all that stuff. So ultimately you would place your order here. And it'll give you an order confirmation. It'll also actually kind of give you a nice summary as to like what you expect to happen and stuff. So keep in mind too that if you accidentally put like 100 in here and you don't have the funds for that, this will warn you about that, right? It'll say, hey, there's not sufficient buying power to place this order. So ultimately, you would do however many you want, and then you would place that order. And you would go ahead and sell this Iron Condor. Now, again, what I want to do here is even prior to placing the order, you should always visually take a look at what this looks like, what your profit and loss will be, depending on the price of SPY, depending on what the date is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go back here, and then I'm going to go over to option strat here. So here's option strat. And again, you should always do this prior to entering your options trade. Get a better feel for what this trade is going to look like. So I'm going to go to build here, and I'm going to go to Iron Condor. And then again, we did SPY here, so we'll go ahead and find SPY. And then we chose, what did we choose? We chose September 10th, which is right there. And then let's take a look here at what we did here. So remember, we sold a call, or we sold a put at the 449, and then we sold a call at the 451. Again, the reason being that we think that on the expiration date of the 10th, SPY will be somewhere between these two prices. And then again, we bought a put under the put that we sold. This was at the 447 strike, and then we went ahead and bought a call above the call we sold at the 453 strike. And so this is what it looks like here. And this shouldn't be that wide because I don't think SPY will move that much. So something like this. So again, a max loss being $77, max profit being $123, gives us our break evens on the expiration. And again, this tells us that this is a credit. We're receiving a credit for entering this trade. So again, what we want to happen on the expiration is for SPY to be between the strikes of the call and put that we sold. And then again, you can also use this to your advantage here, because you can kind of mess with implied volatility and see how, you know, increases or decreases in implied volatility will affect the trade. So if implied volatility goes up, you know, that's kind of what it looks like. If it goes down, this is kind of what it starts to look like. So overall, it's always nice to take a look at this option strat chart and just kind of take a look at, you know, what your profit losses will be. And again, you don't have to wait until expiration to make your profit here. You can certainly close out prior to the expiration date. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.